Bring in Sheila Kahyaoglu, who's an aerospace and defense analyst at Jefferies on the news line now. You have a buy on this stock. Does the pause in production do anything to change that?
Thanks, Contessa. I think it pushes out when the inventory build, we work through that inventory build. And of course, we're probably going to assume re-entry into service at 42 a month. And what Boeing has said is 70 deliveries a month is probably a heroic delivery rate, so we can't get above that. So as we see a production halt, we'd expect to see a timeline associated with that halt, maybe 1 to 2 months or 3 months, and then a more gradual ramp in production.
What is your sense that investors assumed that there would be a slowdown in production of these planes, and then the factor in that the leadership of this company seemed to indicate that they were going to be back in service by the end of the year?
So I think a few mixed messages, but when we go back to the July earnings call, when Boeing put out the concession figure of $5.6 billion, it also said they might need to consider further rate cuts or a possible halt to production if there was uncertainty around return to service. So clearly we're seeing that. So what investors have been asking today is why now, why a halt to production at the end of the year if it seems return to service is imminent, say in the February-March timeframe. And I think one thing to consider is we could have 500 aircraft being built up, so you don't want to have too many aircraft in storage. And, thinking about the 42 per month production rate and a 70 peak delivery rate, you don't want to see those aircraft stored for too long. So I think that's why you're seeing the halt to production right now.
Sheila, they've clearly underestimated at every turn of this the extent of the problems and how to fix them of the 737 MAX. Is it possible that that is being done again today by the investment community? Is it plausible that this plane will never fly again?
I think everything is plausible, but I don't think that's the outcome. We haven't heard anything of major setbacks in terms of return to service. Just last week, we were talking about 2 to 3 steps being completed for a re-entry into service. So I don't think things have changed dramatically. But again, you don't want to have, you are building at 42 a month. That is a hefty rate, although that seems lower than previous months. You're just starting to see a big inventory build. And I think that's one reason for the halt is likely, in my view, and also keeping the dividend of $4.2 billion, that obligation in mind as well.